Welcome to the first episode of our 3-on-3 podcast. Um, I'm Carter with Jaden and Casey here to assist in helping things out. Guys, say what's up.
Hello.
Yo,
Yo. All right. So this is the first episode. We're gonna do Mondays. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is gonna be the schedule. We're gonna do Mondays is going to be straight NBA. Wednesdays is going to be straight MLB, and Fridays are going to be straight NFL. And this will go year round, so it doesn't matter what season um, the leagues are in or the shape of them. It's going to be strictly that the entire time. Casey, you wanna explain how we got the idea of doing this?
so at first we were started out as a joke. We all just joked around because we all know our certain sports. Carter knows more about all of us than basketball. Jaden knows more about all of us than baseball, and I think I know a lot about football. So we all just joked around thinking that we could start a podcast and all this stuff, and we just ended up starting one.
Yeah, here we are.
Then I
We're gonna
running.
start. I think we're gonna start a little bit easier or a little bit lighter now, and then we'll turn up the volume. Jaden, you have anything else?
Just I thought of the idea after I run an MLB page and a Phillies page, so I thought it'd be a good idea. So yeah.
There you go. All right. First topic we're gonna get into is the
Most improved player.
recap of the bubble.
Oh yeah.
Recap of the bubble so far. Well, the episode's mainly going to be about awards and who we think should win the awards, but we're going to start out with what's happened in the bubble so far, since we're kind of starting a little late as the bubble started a couple weeks ago. So I'll start with in my opinion, the most interesting part of the bubble so far has been TJ Warren going absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Facts. That's
For the Pacers and scoring like ridiculous amounts of points. And basically, I don't want to say carrying his team, but leading his team in scoring almost every game
I would say he's
with the
carrying.
help of some good role players. Yeah,
The bonus is
the
out.
only reason
Oladipo.
Oladipo's back, but the only reason I wouldn't say he's carrying so far is because there's still role players like TJ McConnell's helping a lot.
Is Brogdon?
I'm not sure if Brogdon's playing or not, but I know Miles Turner's playing. Is it, or he was playing?
Yeah.
If he's still not playing, I know he was playing at some point. He's helping a lot. They have a lot of very solid role players, and TJ Warren's kind of stepping up as their main scorer. I think that most of the teams in the NBA have that one main scorer that's kind of like, hey, go out and get me a bucket. And for the Pacers so far, it's been TJ Warren, and I think this came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, he's always been a solid.
Especially, I think this atmosphere in the bubble helps him so much. Like,
yeah, there's
53 on a defensive player, or I wouldn't say defensive player of the year, like top 5 in defensive player of the year in Ben Simmons. It's pretty
yeah. I think that especially like him going off against, and it's not just like there's NBA players tweeting about this too. I've seen it all over Twitter about them like different, like the depth perception is so much different.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're thinking about real, like people don't understand how hard it actually is to shoot in an NBA arena.
Yeah.
Because okay, it's the same court, same baskets, same game, but it's a clear backboard when you're playing in the bubble and in a regular NBA. So when you're playing in regular NBA, there's so many fans back there, like behind the backboard, that you can see straight through the backboard at the fans.
Yeah.
So it's hard to look at the rim, and the depth perception is completely off, and it's harder to shoot. Whereas now we see guys like TJ Warren, who we know is a sharpshooter. We knew that before. We know that now, going absolutely insane because the depth perception is a little bit better. And I feel like there's no advantage to home court, or there's no advantage to, hey, we get to stay at home. We're more comfortable here. There's no advantage to that now. And I think it evens the playing field.
Yeah.
Do I think that TJ Warren and the Pacers are really going to do anything in the playoffs? No, but I think that TJ Warren and the Pacers are going to be I think that they're very, I don't want to say lucky, but they're very fortunate to have the bubble
Yeah.
in their favor.
Hmm. Another topic that we can discuss right now is the Phoenix Suns being absolutely on fire.
Yeah, the
Right now
Phoenix
they're
Suns are
5-0
on fire.
Right now they held T.J. Warren, the man we were just talking about, 16 points. I think they just beat the Lakers the other day.
Yeah,
Then they hit that
That-
game-winning shot.
game winner over Paul George and Kawhi. And in my opinion, the best put together team in the NBA with the Clippers.
Yeah. Deepest.
You can argue, some people weren't playing here, some people weren't playing there, but
Yeah.
for Devin Booker to put the backpack on and carry them the entire game, because
Yeah.
like Jaden, who's their second best player on their team? Ayton.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
Ayton as a first round pick? I don't think he's fully developed yet. I still think he has potential to be very good in the NBA, but I don't think that he's developed yet into that top tier center in the league, or that guy that hey, he's going to rim protect for me, but he's also going to be able to get me a bucket in the post, and I can trust him completely with the ball in his hands in the post. And I don't think that the Suns have him there yet. I think that he has potential to be a top center in the league, being 7 foot, 7'1", big, muscular, blocks a lot of shots. Yeah, 22 years old. He's not fully developed. So I think that they still have that in him. But the fact that Devin Booker can go out and just flat out score the ball, and he doesn't have to play much defense because they have guys around him that can play defense. Like Mikal Bridges, I don't think he's starting. But I know that when the majority of the time, he did start most of the games. He does start a little bit, but I've seen him come off the bench, and he's kind of all over the place still in their rotation. But I think that Devin Booker is that guy that can say, hey, I'm not comparing him to Jordan when I say this, but I'm saying that he's almost like that guy that the Bulls had with Jordan, where, hey, just go out and do everything, and our role guys will hit shots when you get double teamed, and our role guys will play defense so that you don't have to work as hard on defense and then you can work even harder on offense.
Exactly. Booker will give you a bucket just anywhere on the court. If he says just go get us a bucket, it's going in.
And that shot that he hit against the Lakers, or not the Lakers, the Clippers, the shot he hit against the Clippers, if you look at the shot, that's all muscle. He had no legs behind that shot. He just pushed that up with all muscle. Go ahead.
Cameron Payne coming off the bench has been big.
Cameron Payne has been insane.
Right now he's averaging 14 off the bench so far.
Oh, wow.
Dario Saric is coming off the bench.
Dario Saric, yep. Which is very big for them, because I feel like if Devin Booker could play 40 minutes a game and still go insane, but I feel like you can't play Devin Booker 40 minutes. Like Devin Booker's not Allen Iverson.
No. Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas Allen Iverson he was 6 foot, went super fast, went hard every play on offense and defense, and he played I think he averaged like 38 minutes a game in his career, which was ridiculous.
I think so.
In his entire career. And then, like, Booker can do that, but I don't think Booker can do that to the consistent level of some of the players that have done that before. So guys like Cameron Payne coming in, he just was in the G League a little bit this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And they brought him up to the Suns, and he's been playing very good, and he looked very good in the G League too. So I'm excited to see what he does and what the Suns can do against these teams as they move forward, because right now, like Casey said, they haven't lost a game.
To add, Allen Iverson averaged 41.1 minutes per game.
That's just, oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Especially when he was backpacking those Philly teams.
Yeah.
The 1 year he averaged 43.7 minutes per game.
Oh my gosh. That's literally the whole game.
Yeah. All right.
Do you guys have anything else on the bubble? Any other speculation? Because we talked about T.J. Warren, we talked about the Suns, we talked about.
We can talk about the Dame beef.
Oh yeah, the PG Dame beef.
Oh yeah.
On Twitter going around. I saw that Dame's sister was getting into it, and then Paul George's, I don't know if it's Paul George's girlfriend or wife or.
I think it was his sister.
Fiance. I thought was it actually his sister?
Yeah, because I think it was Damian Lillard's sister, and but just know that it was two.
But it was two girls that were related to these.
Yeah.
these NBA players, and they were going at it. Dame was talking about, hey, blah, 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 this. Remember when I waved you off? Paul George has come back. Well, that's not happening this year. Dame came back with it's not happening. Or Dame came back with, yeah, because you run, you're scared, you go to different teams all the time.
Yeah.
And I see where Dame's coming from. Yeah.
It all
I
started
see.
because Pat Bev, after in the clutch, Dame Lillard missed 2 free throws. Pat Bev from the sideline yelled Dame time and started tapping
Dame
his wrist. And Pat Bev,
That was funny. That was funny to watch.
It was funny.
But I think that Dame, and I personally, not many people are probably gonna like this, but I think I have Dame. I think the Blazers are on pace to get the 8 seed, right? Am I correct about that?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Blazers are on track to get the 8 seed, which would mean that they would play the Clippers in the first round. And I have the Blazers winning that. I have the Blazers winning that series. If they can get some good wings like Gary Trent to play as he's been playing, Gary Trent's been playing really good in the bubble. You have guys like Trevor Ariza is another wing that they have that they picked up this year who's been playing really good for them. If they can get those guys to kind of, I'm not going to say stop, but if they can get those guys to slow down Paul George and Kawhi, I think that they have a real chance because I really like Reggie Jackson, and I feel like that was a very good pickup for the Clippers, but I don't see Reggie Jackson outplaying Damian Lillard in the playoffs.
I just checked. The only way the Clippers and Trailblazers would match up is in the Western Conference Finals. So,
oh, really?
Well,
then who are the Trailblazers going up against first round?
It would be the Lakers.
Lakers? I still think that they could win that
Oh
series.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because LeBron, the way that LeBron's been playing at point guard, like.
Yeah. No one on that team is going to be able to guard Dame Lillard. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. And then you can make the argument, well. Yeah, you can make your argument about you can make your argument about, oh, well, they have AD and stuff. Nurkic has been playing very, very good in the bubble so far.
Hassan Whiteside's not that good, but he's still a pretty decent defender.
He's a good rim protector.
If they start Nurkic and Hassan next to each other,
yeah, but I don't think they're going to do that because of spacing reasons. Especially when Dame's ISOing, you can't have Dame ISO and have 2 bigs sitting in the paint.
Yeah.
And I also feel like Nurkic, his footwork has gotten better, all of that. Moving on from the PG and Dame, we kind of hit on LeBron a little bit. I think that people understand LeBron's not playing how we normally see LeBron play. And I'm hoping. Yeah. I'm hoping we're hoping LeBron can do a little bit better throughout these next couple games and then going into the playoffs, because obviously I'm rooting for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about the restart in the bubble has been Luka playing on the Mavs with Porzingis, which Luka's been playing out of his mind. Jaden, what were the numbers from earlier? I think it was last
31,
night. What were
19,
the numbers?
14.
Against who?
The Bucks.
Against the Bucks.
31, 19, and 14 against the Bucks, who have Eric Bledsoe, which is a good guard defender. They have
Chris Middleton's a good perimeter
Giannis,
defender.
Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez. In my opinion, I think they're the best defending team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not wing defending, but they're the best all-around defending team in the NBA, in my opinion.
If they had Bogdanovich, still they'd be. But he's on the Jazz. What am I saying?
Yeah, he's on the Jazz. But I feel like that they're a very solid defensive team, and for Luka and Porzingis to play the way that they did, shows that probably not this year, maybe not next year, but in 3-4 years from now, the Mavs could have a real shot as LeBron's getting older, and I still don't think AD can carry that Lakers team to a finals. If LeBron keeps playing the way LeBron is playing, the Lakers aren't going to win the championship.
Yeah,
that's just not going to happen.
Luka, might have been yesterday, or no, 2 days ago he played the Bucks and dropped that. But yesterday he dropped 39 points and 17 assists.
Luka's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luka's nasty. I think we can start to move into our awards for this year.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Jaden, what are we starting with?
Most improved player.
All right, so we can start with most improved. Casey, you want to go first?
So the most improved player candidates are Bam, Luca, and Brandon Ingram. So I think it's because this is not going off of who's the best player. Because if this is going off who's the best player, Luca's blowing everyone out.
Yeah.
But improved from this last year to this year, I think Bam wins it. He's improved, I think, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, while also playing insane defense. I think Bam wins it for me.
For me, I'm going with Brandon Ingram because Ingram scoring went up from 18 to 23, and also I think a big thing is his 3-point shooting. Last year he was only shooting 1.8 3-pointers a game, and not even making one. He was 33% shooter. This year he is he's making 2 now, and he's shooting 6, which I think is better. And this is all
Yeah.
in the same minutes per game.
Yeah, I think that
Brandon
he's
Ingram, it also has to do with the LeBron effect. So LeBron was taking more shots, and now he's that first option for that Pelicans team,
and that's
taking
the
more
reason that
which benefits
like
him more.
that's the reason, like Jaden said, that I think that Bam is a very good candidate. I think that Bam is helping his team tremendously, but I think that Bam does have that guy named Jimmy Butler, and have those guys around him named Tyler. Tyler Hero's my guy, but Tyler Hero, who's
Goran
stepping up this
Dragic.
year, and I saw a stat that was Tyler Hero's averaging more points in the bubble than LeBron. Which obviously means nothing. I just thought that was funny. Duncan
Also-
Robinson, he has around him. He has Kendrick Nunn. All of these guys around him that are kind of gelling his team and making his job a lot easier. Whereas I think Brandon Ingram still has Zion, who I don't know what Alvin Gentry is doing with the Pelicans. But
Zion should be running the 3. Brandon Ingram should be probably. I don't know if Brandon
you
Ingram
can have
should
Zion,
be running the 2.
but no, you can have Brandon Ingram running 3. I think because I think that works. Because who's their center, Jaden?
Derek
It
Favors.
is Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, Jackson Hayes is coming off the bench, I think. So I think it would be Derek Favors. So Derek Favors isn't really going to stretch your floor. Your 4 is going to be Zion, who's a smaller 4, but he's more athletic. Your 3 is going to be Brandon Ingram. I think their 2 is JJ Redick, and their starter is Alonzo, if I'm correct.
Also,
Which I think JJ spaces it out, and then BI is that main option where it's like, hey, he's the 3 who's going to go get you a bucket.
Also,
Exactly, yes.
his free throw shooting got a lot better this year. He was shooting 67% from the free throw last year, and he's shooting 85% this year on 6 on more free throw attempts. He's shooting
Yeah.
five
That's
for
great.
6 on his free throws.
And he's getting to the line more too.
Yeah, he's getting
Because
to
he
the
has
line
the ball
around
in
the
his
same.
hand. Oh, actually?
Yeah, last year it was 5.6.
Watching the
year
games, it looks like he gets to the line a lot more.
Yeah.
But he's crafty with the way he finishes around the rim, so I'm not that surprised that he's not.
All right.
But I think that he's going. But I do think that the reason that I have Ingram that slightest bit over Bam is because Ingram is leading his team to success rather than Bam. I'm not going to call Bam a role player. Bam is a star, but Bam is kind of like that guy who he has more pieces and has more opportunities to win and doesn't have to do everything. Whereas Brandon Ingram is taking every single big shot that the Pelicans have.
One of my sleeper picks, which I think his efficiency has been terrible this year. I think he should slightly get considered for this though. Is Devontae Graham? His points per game has went up by 14. His assists have gone up by 7 on a terrible Hornets team.
And that's the reason I think that I would give Brandon Ingram the slight edge, because although the Hornets do have a worse roster overall than the Pelicans, I think that if you put Brandon Ingram on that Hornets team, he's probably going to do a little bit more than Devontae Graham would, and that might be because of experience. That might be because of Brandon Ingram's size and the way he plays, and the way he might gel with other players. But I think that Devontae Graham is doing very well for a team that sucks.
Yeah.
But if he was winning that a little bit more, maybe I'd put him closer to the top. But I still think that Bam and Brandon Ingram are the 2 that are going to be the top. Next, we have Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Carter, do you want to start this time?
Yeah, I'll start. So for Defensive Player of the Year, I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's Giannis.
I agree.
I agree.
And Jaden, we all have Giannis. And I think that this is pretty obvious because if you look at not only numbers, but if you look at how his team defends and how his team would defend without him, I feel like that's a big thing that you have to take into account, because if you're taking a guy like Rudy Gobert, his team would hurt so much. Because he's running for it and he's up there. I feel like his team would hurt so much in paint defense if he wasn't on that team. But perimeter defense, they'd be just about the same, maybe better with a different center.
Exactly.
Whereas Giannis, if you take Giannis off that Bucks team, their perimeter defense is going down, their paint defense is going down, and defensive rebounding, which we have to take into account, is also going down.
Mm-hmm.
Because Giannis is 7 foot with a 8-mile wingspan,
Yeah.
who can guard you on the perimeter with his long arms and then chase you down and pin you off the backboard.
So, as Carter said, I think it's Antetokounmpo, because his versatility, he can guard 1 through 5. You just take him out there, he can guard 1 through 5. While someone like Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, who's also being considered, they can only guard the 4 and the 5. They won't be able to guard the 3, the 2, and the 1. They can't guard.
Yeah, I think AD can guard
I think
a third. I think
yeah.
that AD can guard most threes, but Giannis definitely can guard 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially with the
I
long
think-
wingspan that he has, and his mobility is being. I think he's 6'11". His mobility with that size is pretty good.
I
think-
think that was
It
obvious.
sounds weird. I think Rudy should not be getting considered.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I wouldn't say not getting considered, because he's
I think he's
probably the
top 5.
best. I think he's probably the best
I think he's the best rim protector.
interior defender in the league.
Yeah.
If not, he's definitely top 3.
but
if
he
not-
has
if not
no
one.
versatility.
But
No
there's no
versatility.
versatility there, and you've seen it with the Curry clip where he spins him around. You've seen it with the multiple guys. The thing that Rudy Gobert does that nobody else really does is when he's in the paint, he knows exactly when to time it to go up and try to block it.
Does he have
Yeah.
foul problems or no? I don't believe he does.
I don't think he does,
I'm gonna check that.
because he's 7'2". So the majority of the time when a guard comes in the paint, he doesn't really have to jump.
Yeah.
How many fouls per game? I don't think it shows me. But I don't think. Oh wait, 3.2. So yeah, 3.2. So not
Which
really.
is, I feel like it's not terrible.
No.
For a big, it's not bad at
Because
all.
there's people like Mitchell Robinson who gets a
Yeah.
lot of fouls, but he also gets a lot of blocks.
All right, so I think that was probably the most obvious one on here.
Yeah.
Other than the next one that we're going to do, which is going to be Rookie of the Year.
I think this is a no-brainer.
This is a no-brainer for me.
I think it's
Ja.
John Morant.
Yeah, it's definitely Ja.
Do we even need the?
I don't really think we even need to explain this.
Just know that
The Grizzlies without Ja Morant would be one of the worst teams in the league.
they're
The Grizzlies
projected
with
to
Ja
be.
Morant are
Right now it's the Blazers
bubble.
and the Grizzlies fighting. for
Yeah.
the 8th seed.
Going into the
I
season.
still believe that the Blazers are going to pull that out, but as a rookie, doing the things that Ja Morant's doing, leading his team, being not only a leader on the court, but a vocal leader.
Yeah. Going into the
and his
season.
mesh with Jaren Jackson is going to be insane in a couple of years.
Going into the season, they were projected to be the worst team in the league.
And now they're in the
They're-
bubble.
Yeah. Now they might get the 8th seed. And
I doubt
the
they
thing
get the
with
8th seed just because
Zion
Jaren's
should
out.
not- Zion
Yeah.
should not be getting considered. He played
23 games.
played 19 regular
Hey,
season
guy,
games.
hey, what are you talking about, guys? He's the cover of 2K. Come on now.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that. 2K is just straight marketing.
Yeah. Kendrick Nunn. He's even though he's
None
a
is
good
playing
player,
out of his mind, too.
Yeah. He was
he's
undrafted.
a
too, by the
great
way.
perimeter defender. Great, whatever.
Great scorer. He's a great ball handler. He can find people when they're open.
He's a
Gets guys
sharpshooter.
like not Mitchell Robinson. Gets guys like Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero most of their points.
like Bam. He gets
Bam.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Lots of stuff like that. He makes his team a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on Rookie of the Year because I feel like
It was obvious.
that one's pretty obvious. Next one is not Coach of the Year yet. It's no. We're gonna do 6-man. So
Yeah.
you guys can go first.
Okay, so right now the candidates considered are Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, and Dennis Schroeder. I don't understand this. How the Clippers have 2 candidates for 6-man of the year. That makes
Want to be at 7th man?
exactly. That makes that.
It should just be if that's what they're gonna do. It should just be the best bench player.
I think
the best
I'd give it to Schroeder.
Yeah, I think I'd give it to Schroeder too.
Yeah, if we're looking at Dennis Schroeder's stats, he's
I think Lou
averaging
Will wins it too damn much.
right now. Schroeder's averaging 19, 4, and 4.
Yeah, there's no question. On a team that was projected to be very bad and is now winning a good amount of games in the bubble, not only due to Dennis Schroeder, because Chris Paul's playing really good too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that team is a lot better than we thought they were going to be, and it's gelling a lot better than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, he's averaging 18.
Yeah, 18, 19, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's another one I don't really want to spend too much time on because we all agree with it. Some people might. I could see people arguing Montrez. I could see people arguing Lou Will. But for me, I think it's pretty clear cut that Dennis Dennis Schroeder's the clear cut guy for that. Next, Coach of the Year. I'm a big Nick Nurse fan when it comes to Coach of the Year. I think that Nick Nurse should win that.
I think it's between Billy Donovan and Nick Nurse.
I believe it's between Billy Donovan and Nick Nurse. They both proved a lot of
the Raptors coming off the championship.
Raptors coming off the championship lose their best player, who's basically backpacked them to a championship with a little bit of help of Kyle Lowry, and Nick Nurse is finding ways to get his young guys minutes while also winning games.
Yeah,
exactly.
Guys like
Anunoby
as a star.
Pascal's coming into his own. Kyle Lowry's a little bit older, but Kyle Lowry's helping out the other guys. Van Vliet is very good. Terrence Davis is very good. His team is very well put together for what they have. I thought that the Raptors were going to be – I was just about to say that. Chris Boucher, another very young guy, coming off the bench, getting tip dunks, pinning people off the backboard.
Exactly.
And then they still have veterans like Serge and Kyle Lowry and guys that will really help and Gasol and guys that will really help gel their team. And I think they will do pretty good in the playoffs. But like I said before, I don't think they're going to go too far.
And this offseason, they also locked up Pascal for the next 5 years, too.
Yep, so which is big. That's big. For my pick of Coach of the Year, though, I have Billy Donovan, just because no one's coming this season. No one's coming this season. The Thunder are going to win 42 games.
We all thought they were just going to trade Chris Paul.
Yep, we thought that they were going to trade Chris Paul. I thought that they were going to in my mind, I think Shea is more of a point guard than he really is, because I know he's listed as a shooting guard.
I really like Shea.
I would see him more. Yeah, I really like Shea too, but I would see him more as a one, as a main ball handler, as a long defender, big guy, long arms, can defend, play offense, crafty with the ball. I see him more as a one, and then like a shooter at the two would be better. But the way that Billy Donovan made it work with Chris Paul, who's a primary ball handler, and getting Shea that time off the ball, I think will help Shea so much in the long run, because if he ever gets another star on OKC or whatever team he goes to, or whatever team he's on in the future, if he can get another star on that team, like another star big man or a star three, he's not going to be able to have the ball 9 out of 10 times like he's used to, he had with that Clippers team from a couple of years ago. I think that he.
Oh, there you go.
I think Shea should have been in the running for most improved player.
That's what I was thinking. That Thunder team is one of the most underrated teams in the NBA. They have Chris Paul.
And I really like Steven Adams is my favorite center in the league. I'll come out and say that straight. He's not the best center in the league, but he's my favorite center in the league because he does the little things very, very well.
He's averaging 14 blunders per game. He's playing really good defense. Even though Gallinari can't get rebounds or isn't the best
Gallo
defender,
fits so well with Chris Paul.
He makes up for that team in offense. That's what he makes up for that team.
Yep. Gallo fits so well with Chris Paul, and then you have a guy like Steven Adams who's big and can play defense and can rebound and do all the stuff that you would want a center in the NBA to do, next to a stretch four, which I've said this forever. You guys know I've said this forever. I think that a stretch four and a center that can rebound and defend is one of the best things you can have on your team.
Yes.
So we established that. You think that it's Billy Donovan. I can see that. Me and Jaden agree that we think that it should be Nick Nurse. And now we will go on to
MVP.
That Thunder team, that bench is so young. Darius Baisley's coming off that bench. Hamidou Diallo.
I like Diallo.
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Terrence Ferguson.
Is this Alex?
If you if you guys need something to watch, go on YouTube and look up Hamidou Diallo's high school dunk contest highlights. He's doing the thing that he did in the All-Star game where he jumped over Shaq and put his arm in the rim. He's doing that in high school. If you need something to watch, go watch that. On Ball is Life has mixtapes. Overtime has mixtapes.
They
Go
also have
look at that.
Nerlens Noel is coming off that
Nerlens
bench.
Noel is another one of the best defending big man in the league.
Mhm.
All
Okay,
right.
so
Should I
Now
start?
now
the main event.
The
Main event.
controversial might be the controversial topic.
Controversial main event.
All right.
Okay, so the candidates for this year's MVP is Giannis, LeBron, and Harden.
All right.
Yep, and I think mine's pretty clear cut, and I know yours are pretty clear cut, but I think we do have different ones.
For
Jay,
me?
you go first.
It's between LeBron and Giannis. I think I could see LeBron winning it just because his numbers weren't.
'Cause
His
it's
numbers were
LeBron?
still very good. It's LeBron. It's LeBron. I think that he should have more MVPs than he does, but I think that he just doesn't because it's LeBron. We come to expect this from LeBron. Same
I
thing with
agree.
Westbrook
I feel
and Harden.
like I've been saying this for a while. I think LeBron could win the MVP every year.
He's the most
You could make
valuable
a case
player in
for
the league.
That's why I said this a couple months ago. I said why is the MVP just the best player? Like why is the MVP the best player in the league? Shouldn't the MVP be the most valuable player to a team instead of it being like really shouldn't the MVP if you're talking in actual terms shouldn't it be Anthony Davis? Because what would the Lakers be without Anthony Davis?
They'd be not a playoff team like they were last year. That's
I
exactly
think
what
that-
they would be.
I don't know about that because LeBron did get injured last year. He had the groin injury.
Yeah, I think that he
Well,
could. Yeah, they
one
might be
person
they might be a
could
playoff team, but they're not the one seed.
Exactly.
But
So I think if
So-
we're talking most valuable player, that it's AD, but that's not how the NBA works it. So that's not why, in my opinion, that's why AD is not the MVP. But I've been saying forever, I think that they should be MVP, the most valuable player to his team, the defensive player of the year, and they should have an offensive player of the year. I don't know why they don't have an offensive player of the year
Because
for these
if
guys
they
that
were to
average
have an
30,
offensive
40 a
player
game.
of the year-
I mean,
it
think
would-
about it.
every year it would either be between KD and James Harden.
And Harden. Yeah.
The MVP
But
gets
still,
the
I feel like-
offensive player of the year.
36.
Think about it.
Yeah. The MVP gets kind of the offensive player of the year, but you take defense into account a little bit. It's weird how the NBA works that. But Jaden, who do you have as your MVP for this year?
For me, I have LeBron. Just because LeBron was able to take that. He's not. I don't know if he's listed as a point guard, but
I
He
think
was running the
they
point
ran
forward.
Point guard. Yeah.
yeah, I think that sure Anthony Davis helped, but I think that LeBron helped Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I don't know how to word it. LeBron
Yeah.
helped Anthony. Yeah.
You helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you. Yeah.
He helped them
Casey-
win more games.
yeah.
Okay. So
Casey, who do you have?
So my MVP is basically the same thing as Defensive Player of the Year. Going to be the Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis. It's for me.
Okay.
He's averaging 28, 14 boards, 5 assists on 2 steals and 2 blocks, while having the best record in the NBA. Clear cut, I think, because that team without Giannis, if we're going off the most valuable player terms, that team without Giannis, I don't think they make the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest. So I think Giannis is the most valuable player to that team.
But I feel like you could make that case with almost any team in the league other than that Lakers team. That's why I'm like. That's why I don't think that's why I don't think LeBron is MVP. LeBron has been playing very good this year, but I don't think you can make a claim that LeBron is MVP when without LeBron and his team would still sneak into the playoffs with Anthony Davis going insane.
Exactly.
Because
my
Anthony
thing
Davis
is-
did that with the Pelicans every year and almost beat the freaking Warriors with Klay Thompson, Prime Curry, and Bogut and Harrison Barnes.
But
Yeah.
would he?
With
Because
Draymond.
is how much better? Yeah, he has a better supporting cast, but like, how much better is it besides LeBron? Anthony Davis'
Well,
supporting cast.
I feel like Anthony Davis is more valuable to the Lakers than LeBron's value to the Lakers. And that's not hating. I think LeBron's the best player of all time. I'll come out and say that right now. But I don't think that currently, Casey, stop. Stop the cap. Stop. I think that
can be
currently-
argued.
That could be an argument for another episode. But
Yeah.
I think that currently Anthony Davis is more valuable to the Lakers than LeBron is.
I agree.
I feel like you can have Caruso step into that role. If LeBron got hurt, you could have Caruso step in that role, and he might do the similar things to what LeBron is doing right now. Averaging what is he averaging? 16 and about 8, I think,
LeBron
in the bubble.
in the bubble maybe,
think
but I wouldn't.
Currently.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
But I
then
think
again,
that, but
I
even
wouldn't be mad
before,
for one either way.
I'm thinking,
Mike Flynn,
like,
yeah.
what I'm saying is, I think Caruso is the most underrated, overrated player ever. Because, like, at this
Yeah.
point, he's like a meme. Everyone's being like, this guy is
He's
like,
a meme.
oh,
Caruso's a meme.
he's a
Caruso's
bald
a
guy.
25-year-old balding.
But I don't think.
Exactly. But he's
Caruso's
averaging
hair
like,
looks like my 40-year-old dad's hair.
Yeah.
exactly. He's averaging like 6 a game. He's coming off the bench and actually stepping up into that role. When he plays LeBron,
Yeah.
he's averaging 12 points a game. When he's on the floor, or like when it's just him and LeBron, when AD has been out and Caruso has started, he's averaging 12 points a game.
And his vision is crazy. People don't know how good his vision actually is until they watch a whole game of the Lakers. I guarantee you Caruso makes at least one no-look pass.
Exactly.
His vision is crazy, especially like down court, lob passes, cross court passes, everything. Caruso's vision is very insane, but Caruso's not the MVP. So but that's another reason I don't think LeBron is. My MVP this year is Mr. James Harden, and I'll explain why I think James Harden's the MVP. Jaden, can you pull up James Harden's numbers this year?
He's averaging 34, 7, and 8. I checked it.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't be
34,
mad if it
7,
went.
that's
I
it.
would not be mad if it went to anybody. I could see it going anyway, honestly.
Harden?
I
Hear
feel
me
like
out. Hear me out.
Hold on. I'm gonna say for LeBron.
All right, go ahead.
I feel like if LeBron were to get it, I think it's a little bit of bias. Like
I think
say,
it's biased towards LeBron.
because some people think LeBron's the greatest of all time. I don't think that. I think MJ is the GOAT. But what happens is with that LeBron, because some people base it off their career and not just that year they had this year. If we're basing off LeBron's career, he'd win the MVP every year. But just basing off of this year, he's not the MVP.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm saying. I'm not, like I said, I've said this multiple times. LeBron's in my opinion, the best player of all time. But I do not think that LeBron this year is better than some players in the MVP voting.
Yeah.
That's why I have James Harden, and I'll explain why I have James Harden. James Harden's averaging 34 on a team that, before they got Robert Covington, did not have much depth at all.
Exactly.
Now that they have Robert Covington and they're running this small ball lineup, they're playing a lot better team basketball. Before they got Robert Covington, think about what they had. Because they had Westbrook, who is still trying to gel with James Harden, and you have James Harden going off for 50, 60 points, 40, 50 points.
It's that big dude. He's like 7'2". I forget his name.
Is that Hardenstein?
7'2". Hardenstein is like 6'10".
What?
Oh, he's like 7'2", I thought.
Hardenstein is not that tall. He might be 7 foot. Isaiah Hartenstein is not that tall.
Yeah,
he
he's
literally
7
just
foot.
got cut the other day.
Yeah, he's 7 foot.
What?
He got cut. It was so funny. I saw a TikTok of Isaiah Hartenstein, and he goes, I forget what the sound was, but the sound was something like something about how he's not where he's supposed to be, and the caption was, being a 7-footer on a team that's playing small ball, and he got cut the next day.
Yeah, it's not like he was good anyway.
I mean, well, he wasn't good. He was Jaden. You probably could have taken the spot.
Oh, if Jaden was 7 feet.
If Jaden was 7 foot, he'd be muscling people,
Exactly.
throwing
All right.
elbows, baby Shaq. But yeah, Harden's averaging 34 on a team that's playing really good. I think that the Rockets without Harden wouldn't be that great, even though they have that Russell Westbrook. I don't think that Russell Westbrook has played like Russell Westbrook has played in the past. I think that OKC Russell Westbrook is a lot better than this Rockets Russell Westbrook we're getting now. Don't get me wrong, Westbrook is still good. But I feel like I would rather have like Giannis's scenario. Giannis has a very good depth on his bench.
He's a very good.
He has a very good supporting cast, and he has guys that'll come in and help him when he needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, and for any NBA player, in one point in their career, they're gonna have a bad game.
Yes.
No NBA. This is not my career. No NBA player is gonna come out and drop 30 every single game that they play.
They're not gonna drop.
It's just not gonna happen.
70. And
I watched Steph Curry play live and he had 23 and I was so mad because Curry had 23 and I'm like, why can't he just go off for 50? And this is prime Curry. Why can't he just go off for 50? It's Curry. Oh, not everybody has a good game.
All right.
Every game
Yeah.
that they play. So
Exactly.
that's why I believe it's Harden.
so,
So we have Harden, we have Giannis, and we have LeBron. Let me run back through. Let's run back through these awards real quick.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
So I know this is a little off notes, but can we do predictions on who you think will win the finals this year?
I think
Uh,
I don't know if we want to do a full bracket.
well, let's wait though, because we can do the next NBA video, or not video, the next NBA thing that we'll do. Next podcast we'll just have straight
Let's do that once the playoffs are
playoff prediction.
Like dark
Yeah,
horse.
let's just do that with the playoffs. But
Celtics. Oh, what?
I want to wait until we get the bracket for the first round of stuff. Because if the Blazers are playing the Lakers, nope, not even gonna start on that. Okay, let's run through the awards so far. So we have most improved. I have Brandon Ingram. Jaden, you have Brandon Ingram. Casey, you have Bam Adebayo. Defensive Player of the Year, I have Giannis. All of us have Giannis on Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year, this one's simple. All of us have John Morant.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year.
We have unanimous for 2.
Yeah, unanimous for 2. Yeah. Six man. Six man. I have Schroeder. Do all of us have Schroeder?
Yep.
All of us have Schroeder for 6 man. Coach of the Year, me and Jaden have Nick Nurse. Casey, you have Billy Donovan. Make the case either way. I think that's cool. MVP is where we're most split up. Casey, you have Giannis. Jaden, you have LeBron. And I have Mr. Step Back, Travel, Split Cat. Okay, so here, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Do you guys want to say much? Speak your piece.
I have some recap
yes, sir.
for today's game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first game we had today was or not the first game, but it was the Nets versus the Clippers. The Nets won by 9. Well, Paul George didn't play today. Pat
okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, Pat Bev didn't play. A lot of people didn't play. Karis LeVert Kawhi did play. Karis LeVert had 27 today. Joe Harris had 25.
Joe Harris is Klay Thompson.
Klay.
All right, go ahead.
Thompson, but not as good at defense.
Yeah, there you go. There's your comparison.
Tyler Johnson also had 21 off the bench, including the ice.
A little lefty action.
Kawhi had
Short
39.
king lefty action.
Kawhi
had 39.
And the Clips still lost by 9.
That's the thing. In the playoffs, if they're giving Shamet the ball now, they're whew.
Exactly.
Well, we won't go there.
The Rockets versus the Kings. The Rockets won 129 to 112. Harden had 32. 6 and 7, I think, today. Austin Rivers off the bench had 41 today. 41 and 6.
There's another mixtape you got to check out. Austin Rivers High School. Yes, sir. Greatest mixtape of all time.
For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox had 26 and 9 assists. So he did a decent game. The Trailblazers versus Sixers. If me and Jaden.
Yes, sir, my guy. I'm not even a Blazers fan.
Carter's a Heat.
I like the Heat.
Yeah.
Come on, I just like Tyler Hero.
Oh, the Bulls. You like the Bulls?
Yeah, I guess I'm the Bulls. I don't really have a favorite team. If I had to pick a favorite team, it'd be the Bulls. Just because they suck, and I'm trying to pick a crappy team. But there's a rumor going around that KG is going to buy the Timberwolves and move them to Seattle, and if he does that, then that's my favorite team. But as of right now, I'm kind of all over the place.
So the Trailblazers 124, Sixers 121. Sixers today played without Ben Simmons. What's his name? Joel Embiid left in the first quarter with an apparent injury. Dame dropped 51.
Oh my God.
CJ McCollum also added on with a 20 piece.
20-piece nugget.
Jason Richardson has dropped 34. And Why?
All right, keep going.
Okay, so for the Celtics Magic game, the Celtics had won the game in overtime, 122 to 119. Tatum hit the game-winning shot basically. Tatum had 29.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. Tatum's my guy.
A previous All-Star, Gordon Hayward had 31. And then
Mr.
Vucevic,
Ankle in his kneecap.
Vucevic and Markel Fultz both had double-doubles. Markel had 16 and 10 assists coming off the bench, so pretty good today. The Spurs versus the Pelicans. The Spurs won the game 122 to, I think, 113. Yeah, it was 113. DeMar had 27. J.J. Redick had 31. Did all he could to try to keep this playoff streak of 13 years in a row alive, and he couldn't dodge.
JJ's on that. I'm trying to win because I don't got that much left in the tank.
Exactly. Yeah. 35 years old. Zion had 25. The Raptors won against the Grizzlies today, 108 to 99. Siakam had 26 and Dylan Brooks had 25. That I don't know about that Grizzlies team.
What?
Without Jaren Jackson, that Grizzly team.
Yeah, it's a little shaky. Is that it?
One more game.
All right.
The Thunder won against the Wizards today, so it was kind of a rocky game, basically, because the Wizards are not very good without Beal and Wall. So
Yeah.
Thunder had 121 and the Wizards had 103. Darius Baisley off the bench had 23 today, and Danilo Gallinari had 20. But surprisingly, Jerome Robinson off the bench for the Wizards had 19 and led them in scoring.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the scores for today's game. We're recording this the 9th. Well, technically it's the 10th, but it's gonna be posted the 10th. But we're recording this the 9th. And so those are the scores for today's games. If you guys have suggestions for what we can do, we're going to try to stop rambling as much, I think. That was a bigger problem.
Exactly, yeah.
And doing that, but other than that, first one, I think we did pretty well. We can go from here, and I'm glad, that this is going smoothly, and this might not have been the funniest one or the most entertaining one because it was the first one, but trust me, Casey's going to get mad soon.
Yes, very soon.
Very, very soon.
Because we all have different opinions on sports. And
Yep, there you go.
Hey, yo, what
some of them are very entertaining. Let's just say that.
Yep.
Yo,
All right, so I think that's going to end it.
All right.
We can go from there.